Hey guys, today we're going to show you how to get a collision alignment check printout. Our first step is to install the targets and do our compensation. After identifying the vehicle, now's a good time to look for those additional systems that may need to be reset. This vehicle has a safety system reset, the lane departure warning, and this would be a good time to document this for our insurance companies for future payment and reset. So I'm going to select this. You may notice that I'm using the remote here so I can stay away from the front of the car and the console just for a more cleaner look for our customers to see. The next step you see is the steering angle sensor reset. Again, another great time to go ahead and document this and do a print screen so our customers can have this for their records. So at this point, we're now ready to do our caster sweep. You're going to notice it's asking for the brake pedal depressor. This is important because a collision check printout needs to have SAI and IA angles. So we'll start our brake pedal depressor and perform the caster sweep. At this point, we are now ready to make additional measurements because this is now the extra step you're looking for in the collision system. So again, using my remote, I'm simply going to go through my selections until I find my make additional measurements and start the process. The measurements we're going to make are the toe out on turns, max steer angle, and suspension body dimension audit, or SBDA. Our first step is to find the selection for toe out on turns. We found it. We're now ready to install our wide angle targets. When installing these wide-angle targets, it's important to note that they do seat correctly so you don't get an error from the machine during your demonstration. Once we have them installed, again, using my remote, we're going to select OK, and now perform our steer to 20 degrees on the inside tire twice. Following the directions of the machine, we go 20 degrees to the left. We store our measurements with our remote, 20 degrees to the right. And we return to center in preparation for our next check. Our next check is the max steer angle, again located under the Make Additional Measurements screen. And we'll scroll down to that one as well. This screen actually gives us directions on what to do during this. It's important not to pause during your max steer, so we steer stop to stop. Our final step is to measure suspension body dimension audit, our SBDA. So again, returning to our screen for the make additional measurements, before we select at the very bottom the SBDA, we must install our ride height targets. We'll do that now. The ride height targets are installed using the shelf to locate under the fender and directly in the middle of the wheel using the center spindle to line it up. At this point, we are ready to continue and finish our pre-alignment check for a collision shop. I hit OK, and the next step here is actually an information step that our remote will help with. So we can hit our 7 inches for a width and select our next field and our 7 inches and hit OK. We've now got all of our measurements ready for a technician and a body shop. This is now the insurance adjuster's best friend on this part of it. For your demonstration purposes, hit the vertical measurements so they can see a nice live view of the car as it sits. At this point, we now have all 3 sets of alignment angles for our customer in the collision industry, and now our printout is ready to print for this. Print this out, give it to your customer, and now you have proof for where you can do a more extensive alignment check, full four-wheel alignment check, maintaining liability control for your customer. Guys, I hope you've learned a little bit about this today. Go out there and hit those collision shops with confidence. Get your optional wide angle targets if you need to, but don't forget those ride height targets as well, and good selling.